Barbara, and here at the Center of the Heart, it's always such a pleasure to be here on Sunday and to celebrate. And so I would like to invite everyone to turn your attention within and to join me in prayer. Thank you. And so as we turn our awareness within, I recognize that there is a power greater than we are. There is a divine mind and infinite intelligence that we call God, we call Spirit, we call the Presence. And I know that God is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, all-knowing, all-loving, and all-giving. I know that this moment, right here, right now, is perfect, that God is present in all its oneness. God's givingness is everywhere present in and through all people and all situations. The divine creative is always seeking to express itself by means of us, and miracles shall follow miracles. We gather here this morning to celebrate our belief in God's unlimited generosity and to accept and extend all the goodness of God. In this knowingness, we are on holy ground, on sacred ground. All that needs to be said and heard is done in a gentle and a loving way. We allow ourselves to receive with open minds and open hearts the inspired wisdom of Reverend Muriel. We express our gratitude for the ushers, the musicians, and all those in service this morning. So it is with absolute joy and gratitude that I release my word into the Lord's mind, and so it is. Together we say, Amen.
Amen.
All right, so today is this month, November, is really the month of gratitude, right? Thanksgiving is around the corner. So I've thought about maybe talk a little bit about gratitude. But first I'd like to share a joke with you. A $1 bill met a $20 bill and said, "Hey, where have you been? I haven't seen you around here much." Do you hear me? The 20 answered, "Well, I've been hanging out at the casino, went on a cruise, and did the rounds on the ship. Then I went back to the United States for a while, and I went to a couple of baseball games and to the mall, you know, that kind of stuff. How about you?" The $1 bill said, "You know, same old stuff, church, church, church." Gratitude. Gratitude is a lesson hard to learn for those who look upon the world amiss. The most that they can do is see themselves as better off than others. What we are referring here, actually those are quotes from the Course in Miracles that I'm going to read. And really what it's saying is that we are, and there's nothing wrong with it, but we may want to take it a notch above, right? So when we express gratitude, usually we say something like, "I am grateful that I have a roof over my head," because some people don't. "I am grateful that I have food." I've heard that here in the States, you used to say little Chinese people don't have all that food, which is not true anymore, I guess. So it seemed that we were always comparing our good to the suffering of others. I heard somebody said, "I'm grateful I don't have cancer." That kind of leads other people with the idea that they don't have to be grateful, that they cannot be grateful for what they have because of the appearances. And so the Course wants us to take a little step further. Nothing wrong with being grateful with what we have. But you remember, I don't know for you, but I've been taking a lot of classes in Science of Mind, and very often we are asked to keep a journal of gratitude, a gratitude journal. And I used, like most people, buy a beautiful journal. And I will start listing all those things.
You're out. Okay, just do mine.
Yeah, that's what I want me to do. Like that.
Yeah, just
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm grateful. So I will have to make a list of the things I was grateful for. So after 4 days, I was so annoyed with myself, like bored to death. I'm grateful for my husband, I'm grateful for my daughter, I'm grateful for my house, I'm grateful for my food, I'm grateful for my body. And 4 days later, I closed the book and I stopped doing the homework. So I prayed about it. I said, how come I am bored with that? How come I cannot do the 21 days or whatever was required of me? And it took a while, and then one day Spirit says to me, why don't you list the things that you do for others? So I start to take notice to the things that I was extending to others. And I realized that I was becoming really grateful because the joy I received from doing that. I was actually grateful not for what I was giving to others or extending, but from the joy that I was receiving from that. So finally, I felt really excited about doing a journal of gratitude for the joy that I was receiving by extending to others, right? So that's something that I would like you to think about for Thanksgiving, is that what are you doing, what are you giving to others that can bring you joy, that you can bring gratitude, right? Also, I have to think about gratitude and appreciation, because English is not my first language, as you can hear. I'm really from New Jersey. And so, I just lost what I was going to say. So, the thing that I would like to, for you to think about what you can be grateful of, those things that you are extending to others also. So I'd like to continue with what the Course has to say. Gratitude is a lesson hard to learn for those who look upon the world amiss. The most that they can do is see themselves as better off than others, and they try to be content because another seems to suffer more than they. Who has cause for thanks while others have less cause? And who could suffer less because he sees another suffer more? Your gratitude is due to him alone, who made all cause of sorrow disappear throughout the world. It is insane to offer thanks because of suffering, but it is equally insane to fail in gratitude to one who offers you the certain means whereby all pain is healed and suffering replaced with laughter and with happiness. Love makes no comparisons, and gratitude can only be sincere if it is joined to love. We offer thanks to God our Father that in all things will find their freedom. It will never be that some are loosened while others still are bound. For who can bargain in the name of love? Therefore give thanks, but in sincerity, and let your gratitude make room for all who will escape with you, the sick, the weak, the needy, and afraid, and those who mourn a seeming loss or feel apparent pain, who suffer cold or hunger, or who walk the way of hatred and the path of death. All these go with you. Let us not compare ourselves with them, for thus we split them off from our awareness of the unity we share with them, and they must share with us. We thank our Father for one thing alone, that we are separated from no living things, and therefore one with Him. And we rejoice that no exceptions ever can be made, which would reduce our wholeness, nor impair our change, our function to complete the one who is himself completion. I think that would be completion. We give thanks for every living thing, for otherwise we offer thanks for nothing. And we fail to recognize the gift of God to us. Then let our brothers lean their tired heads against our shoulders as they rest a while. We offer thanks for them. Today we learn to think of gratitude in place of anger, malice, and revenge. Our gratitude will pave the way to Him and shorten our learning time by more than you could ever dream of. Gratitude goes hand in hand with love, and where one is, the other must be found. For gratitude is but an aspect of the love which is the source of all creation. God gives thanks to you, His son, His daughter, for being what you are, His own completion and the source of love, along with Him. Your gratitude to Him is one with His to you. For love can walk no road except the way of gratitude. And thus we go, who walk the way to God. Amen.